All right, everyone. 2026 is probably going to be one of the most exciting time for the ERP industry because of the forces we have. And this is going to be the time when you should be reviewing your business model as well as architecture. And you need to know which are the systems that are going to be leading, the ones that you need to include with your ERP selection. So let's dive right in.
Growing a business requires a holistic approach that extends beyond sales and marketing. This approach needs alignment among people, processes, and technologies. So if you're a business owner, operations, or finance leader looking to learn growth strategies from your peers and competitors, you're tuned into the right podcast. Welcome to the WBS Podcast, where scalable growth using business systems is our number one priority. Now, here is your host, Sam Gupta.
Hello everyone, my name is Sam Gupta. I am principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent vendor-agnostic technology advisory firm. We help our customers with digital transformation strategy, system selection, change management. On that note, let's go back to today's topic, which is the top ERP systems for 2026. Before we look at the list, let's align our expectations of how we define ERP systems. Again, this is the list of the specific products, systems, not necessarily of the vendors. This looks at the product itself, how the positioning is of that specific product, how much attention this product is getting in the vendor's portfolio. For example, let's say if you have an enterprise vendor, they might not have as aggressive mid-market strategy. So the R&D investment might not be as aggressive for that particular product. For us, that's a big factor. Now, we have two different categories of the systems, and we will be touching on these topics as I review the list. For example, some of them are generic vendors. They have a very different strategy, and they are going to have very different pros and cons than your prescriptive vendors. For the most part, when you are looking for something that is going to have much lower implementation budget and you don't need to customize as much, then prescriptive vendors could be a great fit. But if you're looking for slightly more diverse product, that is going to evolve with your business model. And if you're not certain how your business model is going to evolve, then your generic categories generally are slightly better fit. Now, this particular list is for companies of all sizes and industries. So sometimes this can come across as slightly more generic, but again, I'll be touching on the size segment of each of the specific system as I test them. So pay close attention to that. We'll be touching on different suite-centric integration as well as integration capabilities, whether they are going to be fulfilled by their ecosystem or it is going to be vendor supported, and how many different business models are going to be supported by the product. We are going to touch on that. Some of the major themes, and because of that, our rankings are impacted for 2026. Number one, AI native, which is a huge factor because now the product roadmaps are completely going to change for the ERP vendors. This is going to be a similar time as 2015 when cloud native became mainstream. Now we are in 2025, 10 years after, we have seen how the next 10 years have unfolded because of these cloud native vendors. And now that is the same experience you are going to see for the next 10 years, which is going to be until 2035. So you need to be really careful with your ERP selection strategy at this point of time. Now, this is a very critical time overall because some of these AI native vendors, they are just not evolved at this point of time. They just don't have the same capabilities that you are going to require, but they are moving at light speed. So you need to pay close attention to how they are moving and how other major vendors are reacting to their strategy and how you need to react for your business model as well as enterprise architecture. Now, this is probably the time that you have never seen in the history of your company. And the reason for that is because your business model is going to change substantially. Where you are getting traffic is going to change substantially. Because of that, your process flows will change substantially as well. And that is going to drive your enterprise architecture, which is also going to drive the state of ERP. So now for this list, the criteria that we have used to compile, that is the product share acquisition strategy focused on the ERP systems, product roadmap, community, ecosystem, win rate, technology strategy, as well as the investors. So now let's look at the list. Number 10 on our list is Odoo. And Odoo is a great system for that lower small segment or the startup segment when you are outgrowing QuickBooks. You just don't have the skill set at this point of time to be able to map to the kind of data sets that these larger ERP systems are going to require. That is a very heavy lift for companies. If you're looking for simpler process model, data model, it might not be able to cover every sophisticated scenario, but it's a great system when you are coming from QuickBooks, and the reason for that is because you are not going to receive as much shock. You are going to have much easier adoption, and most likely it can fit in your implementation budget as well. The challenge that we generally see with Odoo is, and again, this is not necessarily Odoo's problem, it is the customer's problem. And the reason for that is because they generally try to over-customize, overuse Odoo, and sometimes some of the partners that are there in the Odoo's ecosystem, they might not be as mature in terms of where they might be overstretching Odoo's capabilities, and that's where companies run into trouble. But overall, Odoo is a great system for their startup and lower small segment, especially for the customers that might be outgrowing QuickBooks and they are looking for simpler process and data model. That's number 10. Number 9 on our list is Acumatica. And Acumatica, if you look at the vendor, they target that small segment, especially the companies that are going to be focused on North America. They are present in some other countries as well from the localization perspective, but for the most part, they are operationally deep, financially not as robust from the multi-entity capabilities perspective or the capabilities that you are going to find with the likes of NetSuite, Sage Intacct, etc. Overall, the philosophy that Acumatica follows is slightly different. They are much deeper operationally. They can accommodate many different business models as part of their product. They have consumption-based pricing. Now, consumption-based pricing could be a great fit for companies, especially if you are going to be seasonal business in nature. So if you are in that industry, then you should definitely include Acumatica and do the cost benefit analysis of their pricing model, whether consumption-based pricing is suitable for you or not for your business model, the way it is designed. And then Acumatica, if you look at their AI native strategy, they have always been product developer. They believe in development. That's where you get much superior user experience, but at the same time, they will not be as aggressive in rolling out the features just because developing these features as part of the product takes longer time than acquiring capabilities. It's just a different strategy, different mindset. So depending upon what you're looking for, but Acumatica is a great system for those industry as well as size segments. And that's number 9. Number 8 on our list is IFS. And IFS is a great fit for upper mid-market segment, especially for the industries, for example, energy, utilities, telecom. These are the industries that are deeper with their field services capabilities, asset management. In those industries, they do really well. They are present in some of the manufacturing industries as well, but those manufacturing industries are also going to have overlap with, let's say, the metal-centric industries. Their inventory model, the way it is designed, it's much deeper for these metal-centric industries. They do really well in the industries where they are going to require multi-entity project management-centric capabilities. For those capabilities, IFS is a great product. And from their AI native capabilities perspective, they have done substantial acquisitions, and they are probably one of the most aggressive vendor with their AI native strategy. So that's number 8. Number 7 on our list is Epicor Kinetic. And Epicor Kinetic is a great product when you are going to be in those metal medical device centric spaces. They do really well in automotive as well. The philosophy that they have from the product perspective is very different as well. They can support very complex inventory. And again, that's a very different product model. The bill of materials that they have are going to be very unique as well. They do really well in regulated spaces where you are going to have the mandated revision number. Engineering centric processes are going to be substantially mandatory as well. For example, aerospace, they do really well in those spaces as well. From the AI native perspective, they are also trying to develop as opposed to acquiring these capabilities. So their development is going to be a little slower compared to the other systems that we have on this list, but they have done substantial announcement overall from their product capabilities perspective. And they are definitely a system to include if you are going to be in the metal, automotive, medical device centric spaces. And that's number 7. Number 6 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite LN and M3. And these are two completely different products. And some of the cloud suites that you are going to find from Infor, they don't necessarily use the LN M3 terminology. They are using cloud suite or velocity suites. The way their suites are constructed, they are providing the complete package that is going to include your CAD, PLM, ERP, and now they are rolling out MES as well. Then they have their technical capabilities, which includes your iPaaS, Infor OS, etc. So all of these capabilities are combined as part of their cloud suite, and they are going to have one of the ERP system that is going to be uniquely targeted for specific industries. For example, LN is going to target discrete centric industries, aerospace, automotive, etc. M3 targets process centric industries, which is going to be your chemicals. Apparel is a great vertical for M3 as well. So Infor Cloud Suite, LN, M3, these are great products for your upper mid-market, lower enterprise spaces. They are getting a lot of larger logos now because of their capabilities. So that's number 6. Number 5 on our list is Oracle Cloud ERP. Oracle Cloud ERP is doing really well in the enterprise-centric spaces. They do really well in, for example, verticals such as your construction. Public sector is a huge vertical for Oracle Cloud ERP as well. Any of the financial services, any shops that are going to be very Oracle heavy, which is your banks, insurance, credit unions is a great vertical for them. So these are the verticals. For example, let's say if you look at Salesforce market share, Workday market share, these are the spaces where Oracle was really strong. And even today, Oracle Cloud ERP does really well in these spaces. For the most part, the way Oracle Cloud ERP is going to be used in these spaces, they don't necessarily have the consolidated process workloads, and which is where some of these systems, for example, Workday might be able to provide very similar capabilities as Oracle Cloud ERP, because Oracle Cloud ERP in these spaces is only acting as the GL layer because they don't use ERP for anything else. Some of the retail verticals could have very similar architecture as well, just because they don't use ERP for anything else other than GL. So Oracle Cloud ERP has a very different mindset as well as philosophy, the way it operates. But Oracle Cloud ERP is very successful in these industries, and that's number 5. Number 4 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 BC. And Microsoft has done wonderfully well in the small to medium sized space. They have a lot of different ISVs that are developing capabilities on top of Microsoft Dynamics 365 BC. Even though when you look at the core capabilities of BC, they might not be as deep operationally, but you are going to find all of those core ERP layers that you are going to need to accommodate different business models on top of Microsoft Dynamics 365 BC. For the most part, those capabilities are going to be fulfilled by the ecosystem, by third-party vendors. But Microsoft Dynamics 365 BC is a great fit when you are not sure of your business model, how it is going to evolve, and when you don't want to pigeonhole yourself in a very specific industry, very specific industry model, product set, etc. In those cases, Microsoft Dynamics 365 BC is going to be a great fit. They are also doing substantial development from the AI native perspective. So that's number 4. Number 3 on our list is NetSuite. And NetSuite is an amazing product. It has done really well in the service-centric spaces. But right now, if you look at NetSuite workloads, they have major threat from the AI native vendors. The majority of the AI native vendors are targeting service-centric verticals. Now, how successful they will be in these service-centric verticals is going to be a question. That is something that we need to observe for the next couple of years. But that's where you are going to see a lot more vendors penetrating. We have seen Workday penetrating in the service-centric verticals as well. Sage Intacct is another vendor which was very prominent in the service-centric verticals. They had much deeper capabilities, and NetSuite was targeting all of these verticals. Now, from NetSuite's perspective, now they are trying to target some other verticals. For example, they have recently launched their field service capabilities, CPQ, etc. So they are trying to attack some of Acamatica's market share or Sage Intacct's market share. But overall, NetSuite has one of the biggest threats among the majority of the ERP vendors. It will be very interesting to watch what Oracle is going to do, whether they are going to acquire one of these AI native vendors. But it's going to be very interesting to watch, and that's number 3. Number 2 on our list is SAP S/4HANA. SAP S/4HANA still has the traditional workloads that they are trying to migrate. They have experienced one of the highest growth in their cloud workloads for cloud migration perspective. Companies that were on SAP, they are upgrading to the SAP S/4HANA workloads. Now, whether you want to go for public cloud, private cloud, you need to assess that. There are limitations. The architecture is very different in the new SAP S/4HANA cloud world. If you are going to be in the mid-market, a lot of the capabilities that you are going to find natively as part of the suite with the prescriptive vendors, for the most part, with SAP S/4HANA, you will rely on third-party IP through some of these, VARs or ISVs. They are going to fulfill those capabilities. But SAP is promoting the same product that they have for their enterprise to their mid-market as well. So you just have one code base, one product that you need to maintain, as opposed to dealing with multiple products. SAP still carries some of the other products by design B1, but they might not have as much attention in their portfolio as their core SAP S/4HANA product. Overall, from their alignment perspective, they have done many different acquisitions in improving their enterprise architecture capabilities. So that's number 2. Number 1 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O. And the reason why Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O is number 1 is because they have the most momentum. Overall, whether you look at their growth rates, they are getting logos left and right in the mid-market space, in the enterprise space. They probably are one of the deepest from the cloud perspective, cloud capabilities that are going to be provided by the vendor. But then their ecosystem is also one of the most robust. They also have global capabilities across different countries. That is something very hard to match overall by other ERP vendors, and their AI native roadmap is also very promising, and that's why they are number 1. So that's it for the ERP system list. Again, just because a system might not be on this list, that does not mean that they might not be fit for your requirements. So do your due diligence as well as requirements analysis before selecting any vendors. But hopefully this list can provide you a long list of different options of leading ERP systems. This video is part of our series that we publish on a weekly basis. So hit subscribe button on the YouTube, and this podcast is also available in the audio form on major podcasting platforms, Apple, Spotify. Also, if you have not checked our digital transformation report, we publish annually, and that is going to have much deeper insights about these systems, as well as several different benchmarks that you are going to need as part of your ERP selection journey. So check that out. You are going to find the QR code throughout this video. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the WBS podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information on growth strategies for SMBs using ERP and digital transformation, check out our community at WBS.rocks. We'll see you next time.